Providence in all the games against the Friars, but it was to make timely shots, and that's exactly what he did by hitting those 2 threes toward the end. Look at this comparison.
Wow.
Taylor, 2 halves within the first half.
And it happened right at about the 10-minute mark. Now a zone defensive look for Providence to begin the second half, and a miss. Transition opportunity for the Friars. Take note, Diallo is not starting the second half.
That's right. I was just noticing that he was not out there. We'll see how much he plays here in the second half. Was not feeling well all day today.
On the inside, won't fall. A tip drill, and smallest guy in it walks out with the basketball. That's Hayes. Great no-look pass.
I mean, that's the kind of defense that got Merrimack the big lead early.
A good job by Pipkins of settling things down here.
You know, it's interesting, Scott. That's interesting. Emmett Holt tends to be sort of that energy off the bench and provide that spark. But now that he's starting the second half, who will provide that here off the bench?
That's a good question. Well, it could very well be Nate Watson if and when he comes back into the ball game.
Or maybe the roles reverse. Maybe it'll be Diallo. Providence going to a zone here.
And that seemed to confound Merrimack a little bit at the end of the first half when they went to that look. That missed everything over the top.
Well, Merrimack seemed like when they were getting their threes, their shots just real quick in transition, that's when they were more effective.
Told you about what Javaris Hayes could do. It's a lot of that.
No-look pass, reverse layup. Devin Jensen, he can shoot threes. Can't defend that, though.
Or that.
Get out of the way.
They're starting to flex their muscle inside now. 9 points for Emmett Holt. And more pressing defense. To join us late, that's a big part of what Providence used to get back in the game. Was backcourt pressure and getting the ball inside in the offensive end.
Great passing.
And it worked. Jensen came free along the baseline. Wow. That was a heck of a play by Hayes, but he couldn't quite stay in bounds.
And here's the last possession by Providence off the inbounds. Emmett Holt just flying in over the top.
We watched them work on that play how many times at shoot-around?
Oh, yeah, because they knew it would be there. Devin Jensen's not going to come over on the help side to do anything on that. He doesn't want to be on a poster.
There's a steal.
Lazy pass.
Probably should have given up the rock. Rockets had the bounce pass for Hayes, didn't throw it. And back the other way, Duke makes him pay. Flying above the rim. That's a technical foul.
Yeah, no, they're technical. Ed Cooley just went ballistic on that call.
Now the question is, was Duke trying to stop himself from falling on top of somebody as he grabbed onto the rim?
Let's take a look.
No.
Maybe a better angle from here. Looks like there might have been a little extra flex. Let's see. They're right there.
And once again, it was not a player who was trying to prevent a collision or an injury to another player by hanging there.
Let's see if we can roll it through and see what he does here after. It might have been that left-handed slap on the backboard. That might have pushed it over the edge.
While he was still holding onto the rim with his right hand.
Look, whether we like it or not, whether it takes the fun out of the game, it is still technically a rule.
Technically, no pun intended.
Yes. And look, if coaches don't like it, change it. You have that power. Every other year you can change the rules. There's a committee for that.
Pipkins poked it free. White, chance at a three-point play. He got hit from behind on his way to the basket. And now 3 minutes in, Providence threatening to make the lead double digits.
Another poke. Providence has done a good job of that with Pipkins and Malik White. Both guards, really good finishers. Able to absorb that contact. They're like a couple of fullbacks up at the top of that perimeter.
So White, senior out of Richmond. That won't fall. Lots of hustle, but Young couldn't save it.
Just cannot give away the free points. I mean, in the first half, I get it. Nate Watson had not been playing. He was missing some free throws. But you need your guards who are going to take the contact and get to the free throw line. They've got to convert.
There is no doubt, though, that Providence sitting on their largest lead right now. Wow. Duke is saying, wait a minute, what did I do? Evan Burrows is pretty sure he committed a foul.
Let's watch it again. Ooh. You know, someone behind us just screamed he tripped. And
they're right.
Okay. All right, there was contact in the back. Whether or not it was enough to push him down to the ground, we could debate that, but he did actually touch him. Had he not touched him, I think he might have fallen anyway.
It looked like it. He lost his balance, yep. What I was saying before was that Providence, with their largest lead right now, feels like they are starting to get full control of this game. It's a matter of whether or not they can continue to expand the lead and take advantage of the points that are there. Rebound with authority for Young.
It's tempting for Providence to jack it up, but they should be patient here. See if Khalif Young can establish post presence. Or Emmett Holt.
They got two bigs there, sitting in the high post. And from cross court, White drains the three. Double-digit lead for the first time tonight for the Friars.
You know, they were working on that exact play this afternoon, where the two bigs come up, they cross, and they were hoping that if the ball did go into the post, it would kick back out because of the collapsed defense to an open shooter.
Merrimack has not had answers for this zone. That's the answer of how to beat a zone. You could shoot over the top of it. And in that case, Daring did.
Well, they consider him their best shooter on the team.
Despite the fact that he was 4 for 23 from three-point range coming in.
But he hit a couple of timely shots against Lowell and Jacksonville.
On the turnaround. That's going to be 3 shots coming for Providence.
A.J. Reeves going to draw the foul and get to the line when we come back. But before that, with the finish and authority, flying through, Emmett Holt, Khalif Young. They're all high-flying, but you get a T if you slap their backboard. That's a no, but they're up 9. They'll take it.
This Black Friday, the gift you really want is at Nissan's Black Friday event. Save big on our tech-filled lineup, like Rogue or Altima, with available intelligent all-wheel drive. Hurry in now. Get a low $199 per month lease on the 2020 Nissan Rogue or the 2020 Nissan Altima.
Call the number on your screen right now.
Thousands of families have gone through the same difficult decision. You need to focus all your energy on getting the medical treatment you need. Let us help you with everything else. Call the New York law firm of Whites and Luxembourg. We've achieved the highest mesothelioma verdicts in New York and represent thousands of your neighbors and coworkers for their mesothelioma and lung cancer claims. Call 1-844-MESO-WIN today to learn more. That's 844-MESO-WIN.
Honey, I think we found the right firm.
So who thinks their Medicare supplement plan isn't doing enough? Who's new to Medicare and wants to get it right? It's time to switch for good to Empire.
What's up? This is Joe Harris.
Always a lot more fun when you hit 5 of your first 6 shots to begin the half, and you're sitting on top of a 9-point lead now.
Well, Providence looked like they were going to be a little bit more on their heels at the start of the second half, but they've now recovered and reset. And how about Miles Powell? 37 points in that loss to Michigan State, which was by far the best game of last week in college basketball. He right now is a first-team All-American, potential National Player of the Year. And Romeo Weems, freshman of the week for DePaul. Paul Reed having an outstanding start for the Blue Demons. And look, these standings are not upside down. Villanova 10, DePaul 1. What is happening? Dogs and cats playing together. What's going on here?
I'll tell you what, DePaul has gotten off to an amazing start to the season, including a win on the road at Iowa. Butler and Xavier also unblemished records. Georgetown's 3-1. They had to bounce back against Georgia State. But that has been a team, the Georgetown team has been one that's just been mercurial this year by halves or by segments of the game. And Ed Cooley trying to figure out a way for his team to find some consistency to fit into this mix.
Yeah, and by the way, to be fair, Villanova's one loss is at Ohio State, a Big Ten title contender, even though they lost by 25. Marquette lost at Wisconsin, and Seton Hall lost to the preseason #1 in Michigan State. So, gotta look at least peel back the records just a little.
So far, so good.
Yes. Hey, DePaul can feel confident. They got some momentum. They survived Dave Lato's 3-game suspension to start the season, and they're still undefeated.
Reeves missing on the first. In the 6-year iteration as it stands right now of these 10 teams in the Big East, conference has averaged more than 5 teams per year in the NCAA tournament field. It's pretty good.
Well, I can tell you right now, I think all 10, I know it's early, but I think they feel like they have a chance for some form of postseason. That doesn't always happen. You know, even in November. You know, either rebuilding, retooling, whatever.
I don't think there's any team right now that doesn't think they're going to be playing past the end of that Big East tournament.
No, they all feel like they've got a shot.
Providence just 11 for 20 from the free throw line. Came into the game at 69% for the year so far. Something else that's got to be cleaned up in the early going.
Oh, wow.
All right.
So let's move on from the standings. We're 2 weeks into November. Let's do my power rankings.
So you're saying the standings are lying, but
yes.
your power rankings are not.
This is where I see the league as we sit right now. This is a snapshot in time. So no offense to Paul, but it's who you beat. Okay? I have Seton Hall 1, Villanova 2, based on talent on the floor, what they've done, who they've played. As I said, you should get credit to some degree that you've had a tough schedule so far, and Seton Hall, Villanova certainly did. You know, Creighton got blitzed by Michigan. St. John's just lost to Vermont. Marquette did lose to Wisconsin. You know, to me with the Friars, I didn't really know where to put them right now with that loss to Northwestern. But they haven't been healthy. That's been an issue with them. No Nate Watson. We see him for the first time tonight. We see what kind of difference he can make.
Ed Cooley said it to us as soon as we saw him today. He said, yeah, I'd just like to see if we get everybody on the floor. Watson is on the floor for the first time this season tonight. And looking good.
Keep feeding the post. And, you know, you mentioned, Scott, about them not having everyone on the floor, and we want to send our condolences to the Gant family. Greg Gant, an outstanding freshman for Providence. He's at home back in North Carolina. The death of his mother, Tawana Baldwin, happened over the weekend, actually during the game on Saturday. So he is back in North Carolina, undetermined when he'll be able to rejoin the team.
Off the tip. The other way. Duke has it knocked free, and Hayes can't believe that foul is called on him.
And to that point about games that have been missed so far, Nate Watson missed the first 4. We're seeing him. Greg Gant, as I told you, he is back home in North Carolina. A.J. Reeves did not play against St. Peter's because of a back injury. He's on the floor right now, not 100%. Alpha Diallo was sick earlier today, and he's not 100% playing today as well.
Watson just fighting his way inside, and Jordan Minor just got hit for that foul. And that is his 4th.
Depth an issue for Merrimack if they're going to cut into this 12-point deficit and stay in this game. I mean, Joey Gallo really only plays essentially 8 guys, I mean, sometimes 9.
Watson can't believe he's now 0 for 6 from the free throw line. We were sitting right under the basket where he was shooting free throws at the end of practice today. He was shooting them well.
Well, he's going to get fouled a lot, so that's going to have to be something that he improves on.
13-point edge now for the Friars. Just over 13 and a half left to play. Warriors trying to figure out a way to find an offensive answer. That might be part of it, as they get an opportunity to go to the free throw line.
And check the way Nate Watson reacts when he actually finally converts one. Thank you. The rest of his game has come back strong.
Now they'll make some noise with Jordan Minor. He'll get another try playing with 4. He'll come out if he makes this second one. Easy Pipkins checking back in for Providence, and Malik White takes a seat.
Those 2 threes for Pipkins has to do wonders for his confidence from the three-point line. He was 6 of 25 heading into this game.
Wasn't shy about shooting it. They need him to do that. Or as the great Bob McAdoo once said, shoot if you must, I must.
22 assists, only 4 turnovers, so that's where he's really helping this team so far. Transfer from UMass.
Rattling it home, and there's just no answer for Watson inside for the Merrimack defense. And that's going to be a reach-in on Reeves in the backcourt, who was trying to force a 5-second call.
And Hayes went down. Let's see if we can catch it right here. Well, this is the play for Watson, spinning. There's no way that Jordan Minor can defend him.
11 points on 5 out of 6 from the floor in his debut here. Trapping pressure, and it's going back the other way. And a technical foul is now called on Mikey Watkins.
Well, that's exactly what Merrimack cannot do. Down 14, they'd played so well for really 2/3 of this game so far. A little bit of frustration by Mikey Watkins.
Mikey wanted a foul call. And now, head coach trying to talk him down a little bit.
Just a sophomore. He's going to be an anchor over the next couple of years for this Merrimack College team. Really done a great job in transitioning from D2 to D1. Not an easy task, as they will join the NEC this season as a full member in all sports except for football. With a full slate of games, they can win the regular season. Just cannot represent the NEC in the NCAA tournament for the next 4 seasons, but they can go. If they were to win the regular season, they could represent the NEC and the NIT.
Talking with a couple other people before the game, it's already taken an effect in other sports. I think they had their women's soccer team that won the regular season inside the NEC, and that's it.
Well, it's great for the league to get a team in the Boston area, 20 miles north of Boston and Andover, right near the New Hampshire border. NEC, very spread out league, but...
Oh, my goodness. Wow. Pipkins to Watson, who went up the elevator, and now, yet again, the roof has officially caved in on Merrimack. They're stuck 20.
Well, that's exactly how Providence can take control of this game, use their size to their advantage, score off of turnovers, keep that pressure on. They've got to play the full 40 because they didn't really show up the first 10.
Wow. Well, they've shown up now, and they are sitting on top of a 20-point edge on an 8-0 scoring run that took just 34 seconds.
What a lift it is to have Nate Watson know that he can play once again at this level. They got Penn coming in, the team that already upset Alabama on the road, and then next week in the Wooden Legacy tournament, really, where they should end up being in the final against Arizona. They're the two best teams in that tournament out in Anaheim.
Pipkins knocked it away. There was some contact, no call, and now another steal. Pipkins in rhythm. Oh, he's stealing it right now. And Joe Gallo has to call a timeout.
Well, that's the Lawan Pipkins who burned Providence when he was a member of the UMass Minutemen. He came to Friartown to deliver, to be the clincher, the closer, and the finisher. Providence rolling up by 23.
Power outages can be unpredictable, inconvenient, and disruptive to your life, posing a real threat to your comfort and safety. When the power goes out, you have no lights, no refrigeration, no heating or air conditioning. Your well or sump pump won't work. Your modern daily electronics are rendered useless. And what if the power's out for days or weeks? Are you prepared? You can be. Customers.
Very good.
Providence Friars have hit 20 of their last 26 shots, and they built a 23-point lead now. Just over 12 minutes left to go.
And a lot of that has to do with that man there you just saw on the right in the huddle. His name is Nate Watson. Fans of the Big East will get used to this. Now, he'll have bigger, stronger players going against him, but he still has the skills to get his position in the post, hold it, spin, turn with that little floater, turnaround jumper using the glass. He can be a major, major factor for Providence going forward, and really the reason that they have a shot to finish in the top 3, top 4 as they were predicted in the Big East. Missed the first 4 games of the season with a knee injury. It's questionable whether or not he's going to be ready to go tonight. But Ed Cooley told me over the last couple of games, he desperately wanted to get him on the floor for this game before they play Penn, a team that knocked off Alabama, and before they go next week out to California in the Wooden Legacy tournament, where there's a chance, we'll see, that they could meet Arizona in the final if they're fortunate enough. And then later in the month, when they get in December, you've got a big-time rivalry game against URI down at the Ryan Center. That's not going to be easy at all. And they play Florida in Brooklyn in December. The Gators struggling right now, but by then, they should have their act together.
Look at that. Last field goal at the 15:42 mark. And it seems like every possession is getting a little bit tougher for the Warriors. They have not had an answer for this zone. That won't go. Pipkins down with the rebound. Here comes Providence again. This is how they were hoping to run the offense in the first half. Shot didn't fall, but once again, it was an under-controlled good look. On the backside of the zone, Oh, ball knocked out of bounds off the hand of Watson. That'll stay Merrimack's way. They get the ball back when we come back. Providence in charge here at the Dunk.
Support your favorite college at Fanatics.com. The largest assortment of officially licensed fan gear from more than 500 colleges.
Providence in the middle of an 11-0 run. They've hit 10 of 12 shots here in this half. They lead by 23, but even with all of those factors, coach is still going to coach.
I know, hey, let's be smart right here. And it's a lot of game left. We're not slowing down, but we want to play inside out. I want to go to our pinch again, right? Stay aggressive in transition. Stay aggressive defensively. When we get the rebound, we're out. It's jailbreak. Let's go.
You know, in a lot of ways, I would think he would be fun to play for.
Oh, players love him.
Yep.
Absolutely love him. And I will tell you that Ed Cooley is the face of this university. And, you know, being around this program the last couple of weeks, from the donor class to the administrators, they absolutely love this man. You know, there was the flirtation with Michigan in the offseason, able to get a long-term extension here. And he's made this a destination. He's from Providence. You know, there's been a long line of tremendous coaches that have come through here. But this has been a destination. I don't think Ed Cooley goes for another college job.
Probably not.
I think his next act is sit next to you.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, on this side.
Yeah, but I thought you did every game that, you know, that Providence participated in on television.
The run ends tonight.
Well, back down the other way. Timeout and the possession, just to save the possession for Merrimack, down 23.
So Ed Cooley, when you think about the coaches that have come here, Scott, obviously the godfather of Providence basketball, the Big East, the late great Dave Gavitt. You know, you've had Rick Pitino, Rick Barnes, Pete Gillen, Joe Mulaney. I mean, you know, obviously on this list of the all-time wins. And look at Ed Cooley climbing. And he will get there because I think he's going to be coaching for, you know, is he going to coach another decade here? Maybe. But a consistent winner. I think last year will be a little bit of an anomaly. They had some injuries early. I think they'll be an NCAA tournament team again, which in this program to do that, you know, the facilities are off the charts. We were at their practice facility this afternoon. Billy Donovan donating for the court. and it's state of the art.
That is a beautiful facility.
And look, with UConn coming in next year, the intensity of the rivalry is going to rise up even more. No, it's a good time to be a Providence Pryor fan, and the campus right now is blossoming. I mean, they've done a lot of work on the campus, new buildings, enrollment's up. It's a hot school right now.
And after a rough start tonight, they have bounced back to dominate this game.
Well, they needed one of these. They did not play well in the first few minutes of this game for sure.
One-handed rebound for Emmett Holt. And the lead just keeps building now for the Friars. 63-4 in 9 seasons under Ed Cooley in non-conference home games. Well on the way to win number 64 now.
So it's going to be interesting here, Scott, is, you know, does Nate Watson come in? They wanted to manage his minutes.
I'm not sure why you would bring him back, and I can't imagine why Diallo would come back into the ball.
Right, I mean, he wasn't feeling well at all. That wouldn't make sense.
That's a good look in rhythm for Daring, who hit from the outside. He's the guy who's the shooter. He's got a really pretty form.
He can tack on A.J. Reeves as well.
Yep.
I mean, he's just coming off back spasms. Wasn't able to practice for 4 days. And just as I say that,
he hops up off the bench and goes to check in.
Hey, he feels great. Sure, put him back in.
Said, I hear you, Andy, but I'm playing.
That's fine.
From the baseline. And an uncontested rebound for Daring.
Well, you know, if you got a back issue, you know, you get all sitting down too long. You want to get out. You want to move.
That's why. Got 3 players waiting on the side with an amounts to a hockey line change coming from Merrimack, and that is way outside for Devin Jensen.
And we've said it earlier. 7 threes against Northwestern. But for some reason, he only took 1 shot against Jacksonville.
It looks like he's in a situation where the offense kind of comes to him. Not that he's creating his own shot, but waiting for that opportunity.
There'll be a problem in the NEC this season.
Oh, yeah.
Good ball movement.
Something they were missing in the first half. And Holt rattles it home.
Just great patience.
Emmett Holt has 11. Now, if you look at the score right now, you're just tuning in, you're saying, well, kind of figured this. You probably didn't figure Providence stuck 12 points twice in that first half.
And we're down big, double figures.
That's good ball movement again. They find the open man again as White buries it.
In rhythm, showing great patience. And it'll be interesting to see how much of the first 10 minutes that Cooley staff show the team when they leave tonight. At halftime,
the end line. In a lot of ways, that has been the entire second half as Providence has been flexing muscle on the way out to a big lead.
You have 4 years to help you figure out the meaning of life. Do you realize what a great gift this is?
I think of college as a moment of pilgrimage.
You'll go places you never thought you'd go.
defense has been basically the anchor for this Providence team throughout the course of the season. We saw that here in the first half. Juan Pipkins got them back in the game, picking the pocket, finishing at the other end, forcing traps at the other end. This ended up being a technical on Hayes, or excuse me, Watkins. And then the physicality inside. Nate Watson. It was only his fault because the ball went out of bounds. Not at all the fact that he forced the bad shot. Look at this. This is Providence Friars' identity this season. Scoring points off of turnovers. St. Peter's was a win. Northwestern a loss. NJIT Sacred Heart wins. And Merrimack, 29 points so far off turnovers, and we still have 7:23 left to go. So that number is likely to climb. That's the identity of this Providence team. That's how they're going to compete near the top of the Big East.
I'll try to sustain that mindset through the remainder of the non-conference schedule and then into the Big East. Merrimack saw those shots falling early. They have not fallen at all here in the second half. As a team, 5 out of 17 from the floor. And there's more trouble along the inside. If you're trying to stop Watson, he's going back to the free throw line.
He made his free throw in his last attempt. He missed the first couple. You know, sometimes I get asked, like, why does November matter? Well, it matters a lot of times in games like this that you can't afford to lose these kinds of games. You don't want losses that could end up being in that fourth quadrant on your resume sheet that the selection committee looks at. And, you know, Northwestern, as an example, very young team, more than likely going to finish in the bottom 3 of the Big Ten. Certainly not going to be a quad 1 loss, may not be a quad 2 loss, maybe a quad 3 loss. We'll see where Northwestern finishes. And if they were to lose to a team like Merrimack, that's in that far 3-4 grouping as well. You can't have, you know, a couple on that side without being a little bit in the danger zone.
And they saw last year the end of that run of NCAA tournaments. They had been in the Big Dance 2014, 15, 16, 17, and 18. And last year it was the NIT. And an early exit to Arkansas.
Coached by Mike Anderson, who's now the head coach of St. John's. So they will see him again twice this season.
That was just a couple of years ago that Providence went right down to the wire with Villanova, a team that went on to win a national championship in the Big East Final.
So we were wrong on Nate Watson. He's back on the floor.
Yeah.
But I think we might be right on Alpha Diallo.
Oh, I think we're right there. And Watson said, you're not doing that here. But he did foul him, and Jordan Minor goes to the free throw line with an even 6 minutes left to go. Second foul on Watson.
Well, they're going to be really pleased, both ends of the court. Watson was able to obviously show his physicality here, get a good sweat, make at least the free throw. You know, Joey Gallo thought that Jordan Minor was going to be the one player who could match the physicality of Providence. The tallest player at 6'8".
Just a freshman. Really nice upside for this Merrimack team.
You know, I keep saying Joey Gallo. You know why? Instead of Joe Gallo.
Because you're going to Jerry Gallo
yes.
from My Cousin Vinny? Is
yes,
that
yes. It's in my head.
Or Jerry Callow, depending upon what part of the movie you're watching.
A classic.
A classic, indeed.
Yes. It is Joe Gallo.
You know, Marissa Tomei won an Oscar for that.
Yes.
I just veered off into Seinfeld when nobody was looking. Joe Gallo, 3 straight NCAA tournaments at the Division II level. And a terrific ending to their time in D2.
Well, they really feel like they would have been a contender for the national championship at the D2 level had they stayed, but perfectly happy to elevate their program. Gallo telling me that their president, in the last 8 years wants to increase the profile. Enrollment is up from when he was a student there in the mid-2000s. By the way, Nate Watson came off the floor.
That's got to be for the last time, right?
Yes. Outstanding effort for him.
No timeout on the floor with 5:33 left to play, and Providence can't quite turn their attention to Saturday's meeting with the Penn Quakers, but they're getting close to this one being done. We said, Penn is what's next.
Let's take a look at who they've got coming up here. The Penn game on Saturday. Quakers, they ended up losing to Rice, but I mean, they had that great win against Alabama early in the season. Then starts the Wooden Legacy. They open with Long Beach State, a team they should win. They should beat Wake or College Charleston. And if all that happens, if they reach their potential, that means on December 1st, more than likely, they would take on Arizona in Anaheim. Arizona playing like a top 10 team right now. Great freshmen, Zeke Naji, Nico Mannion, Josh Green. And then circle that game on December 6th. I was down there Friday night for URI, Alabama. The place was rocking for the Ryan Center. 2 years ago when Dan Hurley was coaching them, I saw that game down in Rhode Island when they knocked off Providence. The guards there, Jeff Fountain and Fats Russell. They're going to be hard to handle.
And there's always so much emotion in that game.
And I think it's one of the more underrated in-state non-conference rivalries in the country. That one, New Mexico State.
Got it on the rim, and a friendly bounce for the shooter, Jaleel Lord, in the corner. Providence not taking their foot off the gas, and a trip to the free throw line now for Khalif Young.
Well, they should. And Khalif Young, who is not, really hasn't scratched his potential in the first 4 games, has kind of struggled to finish around the basket or really get to the free throw line much. I mean, he needs to produce here because we saw what Nate Watson's doing, and it's only going to be a matter of time, in fact, that maybe the next game that Nate Watson starts and Khalif Young is coming off the bench. So he's got to now earn his keep.
There's Watson. First action of the season under his belt tonight. Young last year played in 33 games. 14 of them were starts, so he's done both. Started and come off the bench. Coming up on 4.5 left to go. They have figured out a way to get better shots against that zone as the game has moved on. Problem for Merrimack is those shots aren't falling.
But they've hit that shot earlier in the game, so I mean, I don't think they'll be upset that Jaleel Lord jacked that up. As you mentioned, one of those 3 players who played at St. Anthony's.
They get a foul call on the 3-point attempt. That program at St. Anthony has been so good for so long under Bob Hurley.
Pipkins, the distributor, the setup man, getting A.J. Reeves right where he wants it. Reeves came into the game, didn't play this last game. In the first 3 games, he was averaging 7 points a game. Coming into the season, they were hoping he was certainly going to be a double-figure scorer. And he's got the attention of a lot of NBA personnel, but certainly has a ways to go before that happens.
Missed 9 games last year with a foot injury.
And, that really derailed their season early because even though he was a freshman, they were counting on him and David Duke.
They came out in the opener. He dropped 29 on Siena. That's not a bad debut. There's a lot of pieces in place for this Providence team, and if it comes together the right way as the season wears on, they're going to be a very tough out in March. Late whistle and a foul call on Pipkins, which means we've got free throws coming on the other side. But certainly a much more relaxed Providence team, a Merrimack team that gave it a fight early tonight. Watching it trail away.
Alexa, show me the front door.
I need you.
I need you.
A better grip. Right when you need it. The 2020 Nissan Altima has tech you can't get.
The Michael K. Show, weekdays at 3, right here on Yes.
This is Stir. As in a free app that gets you free live TV. Listening. It's 30 channels and growing. Good. Classic shows. Sci-fi, sports. Yes, and yes. Hundreds of movies. And it's free. Watch it anytime, anywhere.
How much would you pay for that?
For free.
It could be like this for days, man.
Can I get Stir on my Roku? Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, your phone, your tablet. So, Stir. Stir. Download the Stir app for free TV today.
Lead is up to 31 points for Providence with under 4 minutes left to go. And the Friars, no doubt tonight, Andy, had shared the wealth.
Yeah, they've done a great job of doing that and getting that assist to field goal ratio and the production. This is what offensively, for the most part, they need to do. The name that's missing there, of course, is Alpha Diallo.
Who's their leading scorer and rebounder.
Yes. Not feeling great, had a fever earlier today. If Alpha Diallo can be in that mix and be double figures, and they would have 6 players in double figures, that's a great night for Providence.
Coming into the night tonight in Big East, and again, you're talking about 5 games, there's no conference play yet. Ed Cooley's team led the league in assists per game, so sharing the basketball is something that this team has done very well already through the first 5 games.
Well, not too many teams have 2 senior guards that play at the top of their defense, and at times can have 2 ball handlers on the floor like that in Malik White and Luan Pipkins. And that will serve them well if they get pressured in late game situations. And we talked to Malik White when we were at Northwestern last week about coming in as a freshman. You got all this hype, and you think you're going to be a starter. It doesn't happen. But he embraced the role of being a finisher. As Ed Cooley said, you have to make sure with the player on the court at the end. That's what matters more.
Pretty sure there's some food riding on this free throw.
Yes, it's a Chick-fil-A special. Missed 2 in a row.
You see it right there, the foul shot.
Yes, the official even knew it. I don't know if he gets in on it, too. Free chicken sandwich.
This crowd is going nuts. Are we allowed to show our press pass and do that? No?
I don't know.
No. Yeah, I mean, they were ready for it.
Look, there's been this phenomenon on the chicken sandwich lately. People are craving it, they're cheering it. Or maybe just people love just getting the free food.
I think free food generally gets a pretty big roar no matter where you are.
Especially when it's a 31-point game.
And especially when it's a bunch of college kids who probably, anything that's free in the food department, good news.
Yes.
Malik White will come back out of the ball game. 45-18, the differential for the Friars here in the second half.
Well, we've got the camera once a half in the huddle. It would have been pretty good if we were in the locker room because clearly they responded to Ed Cooley and the staff at halftime.
Once again, that length and those quick hands have been a problem all night, especially when Providence is set back in that zone. On the other side, the middle of the zone that way, there's just nothing Merrimack can do.
And for whatever reason, if you remember the first 10 minutes, they were ignoring that. They had the size advantage. The light switch went on.
Off the rebound. Fresh 20. Under 3 left to play. He's got a pure-looking shot. Once again, he hadn't hit as many in the early part of the year, Michael Daring, but he has got a pure shot from that wing.
So Luan Pipkins had great success against Providence when he was at UMass. So you know what? If you can beat them sometimes, and they did, why not join them? And that's exactly what he did. Coming here as a grad transfer, burying shots, being that point man at the top of that pressure defense and finishing at the other end. Right in transition, burying the three-point shot. You know, I asked Ed Cooley, how do you build trust with someone who you just basically pick up, almost like a free agent in the summer? And he said when he practiced with the team that he was coaching the Pan Am games, that's where it started. He did not end up going to Peru because he was hurt, but just being in those practices on campus in July, that's where the bond began, just with Ed Cooley and the staff. Diallo, David Duke, AJ Reeves, Nate Watson. That was critical. The fact that he was here and playing with the team. Because trust is a huge factor, especially when you're a lead guard. You gotta be able to trust that player.
Well, there's always been a lot of talk about grad transfers, and other coaches who say, you know what, I put all of my time into developing this player for X number of years, and now as a graduate student, he can transfer and just go somewhere else. So there's kind of two sides to that coin. But when you're on the receiving end of a player who's going to be able to help him the way Pipkins is, you got to be a pretty happy man. Contact in the lane, and Andrew Fonts is going to go to the free throw line with 1:42 left to go.
The pride of Portsmouth, Rhode Island. Another Portsmouth player in the Big East, Cole Swider. You know him well, down at Villanova.
Yep. He's gotten off to a good start this year in his sophomore season.
Another familiar name in Northeast College basketball, Tommy Dempsey.
Yep.
Father, head coach at the same coach, Binghamton?
Yeah.
Am I right?
It's still Binghamton, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't mean to quiz you here.
Well, no. You know what? You get those moments every once in a while now that you're in your 50s where it's there. It's in your brain.
I wanted to make sure I was saying the right school.
Well, it doesn't come out of your mouth.
Yes. I knew it was Binghamton. I just want to make sure I have the right one as I'm quizzing you.
Those two old guys chatting courtside.
Well, this turned out well for Providence. They were able to rest the guys that weren't feeling well.
It turned out pretty well for Young. First made 3 of the year for him. With under a minute to go. Putting the finishing touches in the bow on a big win at home.
So Providence is going to get out of the first 5 games 4-1. They thought they'd be 5-0. Very disappointed at the loss at Northwestern. See if they can make up for that. Do well against Penn and maybe out in the Wooden Legacy.
And for Merrimack, they can still hang their hats on their first big D1 triumph, a win on the road at Northwestern.
Oh! Did he call glass?
I don't think he cares. I don't think they care.
These guys work hard. scout team in practice. Tremendous to get rewarded here in the final seconds.
And that will be the final shot of the game as Providence finishes it off. Despite trailing by 12 in the first half, they come roaring back to a dominant win.
A great second half by Providence. Nate Watson. Get ready, Big East. He's coming for you.
Final score, 93-56. Providence on top. For Andy Katz, our entire crew, I'm Scott Graham saying so long from Providence.
Up next on FS1, number 19, Texas taking on Iowa State. Over on Fox, number 8, Minnesota, looking to continue their storybook season as they take on 20.